My name's Erin Brockovich. Sorry if I've disappointed you and you were expecting Julia Roberts. I always have to make that joke, especially about something this serious. Thank you, Marcy. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm only really going to say a few words very briefly because this is a very important issue. I've been on the ground, a foot soldier, if you will, for water issues in this country for well over 20 years without dating myself. I really want us to come to a common place, please, that all of us can agree upon that needs to be a nation's priority. That is our water supply. Many people living throughout the U.S. don't really see what is actually going on. It goes unreported, there's lack of awareness, there's misleading information, there's frustration, there's deception, and it goes on and on and on. I'm not here today to point the finger at any one entity or person. That is not going to help any of us. I'm here in support today of their mission, Legionnaire's disease in New York, and how many times we've worked with this. If I take you back to when I began my work in Hinckley, California, what's the first thing we found? It was Legionnaire. People think it's airborne. Let's back this up to source. This is waterborne. How we chemically treat our water, let's back this up to our municipalities, is where we will or we won't see a good outcome. So I'm going to speak briefly, very quickly, but I want to turn it over to somebody that many of you have not met. We've worked side by side for over 20 years. He is the most skilled water master that I've ever known. Everybody's going to need information, awareness, and education, if you will, and the tools to understand how we're getting to the outbreaks that we are, where we need to back this up to source. That's our municipal water systems and what we're going to do to change it. You know, I have a saying, regulations without enforcement are pointless. If I read to you the numbers, and I don't have my glasses on today, that were pulled, and these are stats from the state of New York, the number of outbreaks you had were, I should have my glasses on, you got any glasses, somebody? Gee, that's embarrassing, I left them in my purse. In the year 2011, 616. In the year 2012, 602. Am I seeing this right? Yes? Okay, Bob, come up here and read these real quick. Because I'm not going to read you wrong numbers, and I can't see with these glasses. These are, when I make a comment, regulations without enforcement are pointless. These are numbers that I'm reading to you. You didn't have this outbreak because it started yesterday. This has been building and going on for a while. So these are the numbers of reported outbreaks from the state of New York starting in 2011.
Yeah, it basically in 2011 you had 616, 12, 502, 13, 756, 14, 625, 2015, 846, and 16, 718. There you go.
That says to me there's been lack of enforcement. And that is a problem, and I will stay focused on the state of New York today. But I will promise you, I will guarantee you, with every single bone in my body, we are in every single state in this nation, and we have a very serious water crisis, not only emerging on our hands, that has already existed. So our purpose is not to point fingers, but to extend a hand to every single person that we're going to need for all of us to begin to address these issues. And that's why I would like Bob to come up and talk, because it's fascinating. You know, we take water for granted. We just think we turn on our tap and everything is fine. We don't understand that no two bodies of water are the same. And how does this process happen? And I think it's really very important for the media to understand how we get to where we are. And that's a basic understanding of the water, which many of us think that we know, but in fact, many of us don't know.
President Trump has said he'd like to repeal Regulation 75%, and our Senator Kirsten Gillibrand has had tough words for his EPA pick for administrator. So, is anybody preparing for big changes in the near future, possibly, with regards to federal regulation in clean water?
Yes.
Well, I think we all have something to say about that. I mean, the short answer would be we're kind of watching that happen now, yes. The long answer is we don't know for certain what is going to change or not. So I think there's a lot of speculation. We're going to have to sit back and watch carefully. Look, we do have a lot of good regulations on the book. And so we might not get new regulations. But if we could come in and shore up and enforce what we have, what are already state laws? What are federal laws? What are these laws? It would go a long way towards reducing the burden on an already stressed water system. We have failing infrastructure. We know we all have the lead line problems. There are things that we could be doing in following the law and enforcing those rules that are already in place that could be substantially helpful in better protecting the public health and the welfare. The continual politicizing of our water, I don't think's working. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. We're all entitled to water. We all care about our health and our welfare, and we won't have a good future without good water. We just won't. So this is where I said in the beginning, we've got to find that ground of a common denominator. I hope that this is it. There's good regs. We need enforcement. We need awareness. We need information provided. You have a lot of Legionnaire that is gone unreported. Most of us, and you think you know something, but then you don't. And I don't mean that derogatory towards you. I'm just talking randomly. We think we know something. Oftentimes we don't. Most people are shocked. We're set up for a superbug outbreak. People may be unaware you've got a problem in Pennsylvania right now with a non-tuberculosis mycobacterium. Is anybody talking about that? No. They're looking for thousands of people. We have unreported, beyond the numbers here just in New York of Legionnaire. These are just reported. You have people that are actually dying from brain-eating amoebas down in Louisiana. These are all waterborne pathogens. And sure, does it scare you if someone is say you're an alarmist? You can call me that. But until you come down, get on the ground, get your backpacks, and go state by state, community by community with us throughout this country, it's amazing what you see. And so we do have a water problem.